This episode of Man of Prestige, you're not even attracting anyone at all, right? Or you're not exposing yourself at all, right? There's a reason for that, okay? So I want to give you 7 reasons to work on. These 7 reasons are not gospel truth. One of these reasons may lead you to other reasons, right? So just pay attention to that really quickly. So, or there could simply not be any attractive women available at all. That's another myth. There's all kind of fine women all over the place, beautiful women all over the place. Oh yeah, but many of them are masculine. Like, really? Let me just tell you something about the masculine feminine energies in every single one of them. If every time you come across a young lady and the masculine, you're seeing a lot of masculine, that's something has to do with you. They don't feel safe or secure around you, so naturally they have to protect themselves. Now, can some people have past this? 6 reasons why dating is so hard for guys. Okay, so first of all, personally, I don't subscribe. Let me say that I never subscribed to the idea that dating is harder for guys because I didn't have that experience. So I don't have hands-on experience. And granted, I agree. I've been married for 14 years, so I'm not in this dating market. This is the first excuse that young men bring up. You're not in this dating market, so you wouldn't know what we're going through. You're right. Here's the problem with that though, okay? You're still bitching and complaining about it, so clearly you haven't figured out something. Maybe it's time to listen to somebody who at least at some point obviously dated a few young ladies and successfully got married and has been married for over a decade. But I'm 14 years in, right? So that's almost a decade and a half, right? So maybe you should listen to maybe 1 or 2 insights. Maybe they're not gospel truth. Maybe you may find them useful, right? So I find it funny when people say, but you're not in this dating market, so how could you speak to it? Well, you're still bitching and complaining about it. So maybe it's time you should listen to someone that may be able to see from the outside of the forest. Because sometimes when you're in the forest, you can't see what's going on, right? So maybe observing from the outside, maybe listening long enough to you, since I'm in this space and I'm hearing what people are saying, maybe I can add a little insight, maybe a little tip here and there can help, right? So, but let's start with these 6 reasons why I think, from listening long enough, why I think men find it hard to date. Why dating is hard for guys right now, okay? Let me read this quote really quickly. There are many reasons why dating may be hard for guys, okay? Many reasons why dating may be hard for guys. One major myth is that it's difficult to find a good match because there aren't enough women in the world. That is, or good women. They always say good women, enough good women, right, in this world. Well, here's the thing. When it comes to dating, you should know as a man, you should understand that if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. It's clearly a reason why you are not doing it, or some people you know may not be getting it done. That means securing a relationship and successfully staying in the marriage or in a long-term committed relationship, right? So again, if you've divorced a few times, there's a reason. The reason is in the 4 fingers that's pointing back at you. Let's be frank, okay? It's not a matter of fault. It's not that you're wrong. It's something you don't know, right? It's clearly something you don't know after a few times, 2 or 3 times or more, right? Maybe one time is like, okay, so one time, right? But 2, 3, 4, 5 times, like, come on. Or even we're talking about boyfriend-girlfriend relationships too. Same thing is applicable. There's a really reason why you're attracting a lot of girls. You're having a hard time securing a long-term relationship. Or the other way around, you're not even attracting anyone at all, right? Or you're not exposing yourself at all, right? There's a reason for that, okay? So I'm going to give you 7 reasons to work on. These 7 reasons are not gospel truth. One of these reasons may lead you to other reasons, right? So just pay attention to that really quickly. So, or there could simply not be any attractive women available at all. That's another myth. There's all kind of fine women all over the place, beautiful women all over the place. Oh yeah, but many of them are masculine. Like, really? Let me just tell you something about the masculine feminine energies in every single one of them. If every time you come across a young lady and the masculine, you're seeing a lot of masculine, that's something has to do with you. They don't feel safe or secure around you, so naturally they have to protect themselves. Now, can some people have past experiences before you? Yes, of course. They may have past experiences before you, but that's the reason why you may want to step it up so that you can be the one that makes them feel safe around you. But a lot of that is a function of not feeling safe and secure around men, right? But if you notice that it is you all the time, come on, man. Come on, all right? You may want to look at that a little bit differently. So reason number 1, okay? Sorry, I always count down. Reason number, let's do a quick countdown. Reason number 7, okay? Because we have 7 reasons, right? Reason number 7, lack of game. When I say game, some people are very quick to push back against this, right? They go, what do you mean game? I don't believe in games. No. What I'm talking about is precisely social and emotional intelligence, right? Being able to read minds, being able to read body language, being able to read a room, right? Things like that. If you're not engaged with that, or you don't know how to do that, then you should expect that you will struggle with dating, because dating involves people's emotions. Okay, it's just what it is, right? You should expect that you will struggle with dating. Now, it's even worse if you try to discount it. When you say things like facts over feelings, if you're thinking duty, like if that's how your outlook on life right now, you will struggle even more with dating, because you will have a hard time relaxing. You have a hard time just applying some patience when you're talking to a young lady. If she came at you with that masculine energy, if you already know for a fact that most women submit naturally, then you know that for a fact. Then all you have to do is calm down and listen long enough for her, and then she will feel safe, and then the feminine energy will come out. And you may just find that, oh, that's just me. There's something about, obviously, the society we live in right now. A lot of men are approaching things from their feminine standpoint more so than masculine core, meaning they need validation from women. They need women to act a certain way before they can be a leader. They need a woman to allow them to be a leader before they can be a leader. There's a lot of those going on right now. So you can assume that every woman has come across a man like that. So they put up a guard first. Are you patient enough to relax and let them bring out the feminine energy? There's a good chance that no, if you stumble into this video. So that may be something you want to pay attention to. Reason number 6, lack of exposure. If you're not out there dating, if you're not out there sending text messages to a few people, exposing yourself, linking with people, it doesn't have to be always about romance. It could be networking for businesses. This is how you meet a wife. It could be networking, it could be church events, right? Are you out there? Do you have enough exposure? If you are always in your house, that is a good reason to struggle with dating. Reason number 5, lack of purpose and life mission. If you don't have a mission in life, right? If you don't have a vision for a lifelong family life, a woman can't follow you. I'm sorry. She cannot submit to you. She cannot respect you, especially with a function of time. She will have a hard time respecting to nothing. There's no mission to submit to. Do you get it? All right, good. So lack of purpose and life mission, yes, you will struggle with dating, because ladies can pick it up. They can smell it. They can smell that you lack purpose from afar, and you will struggle as well. Okay. Reason number 4, lack of style. Okay, so fashion. I'm not the best in fashion, nowhere close to it, but I'm aware. As a matter of fact, my wife dresses me up, as in, like, she looks at certain things and she orders certain things because she knows my taste. She knows that I like them. I'm not necessarily inclined to go shopping, so she helps me with that. Help me, right? And I know you dream about that, where you have a wife that can also help you with things like that, right? That can fix you a plate, right? So if you lack style, that could be a reason why you're struggling with dating, because women like a man with style. Not 100% fashion model or anything. That's not what we're talking about. Just enough, decent, right? A little bit of a decent, something decent, right? That is easier on the eyes, right? Most women will settle eventually, but in terms of looks, natural looks, but in terms of at least some style, you're able to wear a clean shirt, throw it on the nice pants and stuff like that. You need to be aware of that so that you can make sure you're doing enough. at least doing enough, right? And if you're the kind of guy that say, no, that's just not my thing, well, that could create struggle in dating too. Reason number 3, subscription to beta YouTubians ideologies. If that shoe fits, please wear it by all means. Okay, I'm not right now at least, I'm not mentioning names. Okay, but people that their channel is about bitching and complaining about women, if you subscribe to that, you will struggle with dating, because this is energy. It will transfer to every young lady you meet. This is just what it is, right? Okay, that's why this channel right here is a little bit more conservative. We're not big, we're just growing. Hopefully we'll help a few people. But those other channels, people that have certain pain, or they can relate to certain pain when it comes to relationship with women, they huddle all over the place, and it's an echo chamber. Everybody's saying the same talking points and all over the place. They don't have their own mind, right? If you subscribe to this type of platforms, it can make you struggle with dating, because these negative things that you see about women is basically what you will attract. You will see it faster all over the place, even when they don't exist. Okay, it is what it is. Reason number 2, projecting bad dating experiences. So if you had a bad dating experience and now your outlook on the rest of your future is that you will struggle with dating, because the reality is that we're all flawed human beings, right? So you will date people that are flawed. You're flawed yourself. You will find yourself in weird situations that's not necessarily pleasurable, right? And I respect that. I'm sorry you went through that, but if this becomes your projection into the future, you will struggle with dating, because again, you attract what you fear the most. So if there's need for you to go through certain type of healing, therapy, counseling, then do that. Do what you got to do, but don't punish yourself by projecting your bad experiences into the future. Reason number one, fixation on and bitching about Tinder stats. Okay, there's some terrible the app, the dating app. There's some terrible statistics out there. And I want to read some of them to you so you can know what I'm talking about. When you're fixated on them, you're going to attract more of it. But the problem is that majority of people that are enjoying their relationship and their marriages, they're not online unless they're creating content like myself. They're just not. Okay, there's no reason. Think about it. There's no reason for them to be online, but they're enjoying it, right? And those ones that are smarter, that comes through this space, they understand that life is still good and they want to make the most out of it, right? So here are some of them, just so you know. If you're fixated on any of these stats, you will struggle with dating. Here's one. Women swipe right, that means like, on only 4 to 5% of guys on Tinder. Men swipe right 62% of the time. This is again one of those double standards, unfair advantage, blah, blah, blah. That's just reality, right? If you're fixated on the stats, guess what's going to happen? You're going to feel like you're struggling even when you're just a man that's supposed to be out there hunting for the finest woman out there. They are out there. You will restrict yourself. It will affect your energy when you're relating with a woman, and then you will struggle with dating because you're fixated on this crazy ass stat. The stat is real. It is what it is. But this can also create more negative for you beyond the actual stat. Then you become the stat. Okay, another one. Women judge 80% of male profiles as unattractive in some way. So now you start to feel like your looks may be funny, maybe your nose is too big or your mouth. You start to look at everything because now you've realized that this woman just don't find men attractive. Like, dude, stop it. That's unattractive when you do that. You're making your matters worse. Okay. While this could be true, there are also behind the scenes things that are happening with a woman that's not recorded in these statistics. Okay, I know for a fact that a woman likes confidence. She may not see you, but the moment you step up to her and say, "What's your name?" the confidence is making her wet. Dude, stop punishing yourself with the stats. If you're fixated on stats, you will struggle with dating. 70% of Tinder users reported never going on a date. Okay, so that's the reality of the internet. Okay, the internet has its downside, it has its upside. You should expect that with so many options, there's a negative to that, right? There's a false sense of so many options, right? So let's not bitch and moan about that. It is what it is. It's the internet. So many options. That's not always a good thing, right? If the average man under average conditions wants to be 99% certain he will receive a reply to a message online, he will need to send 114 messages. Women only have to send 25. Yes, read that again. So a man has to send 114, a woman has to send 25 to get a reply. And so what? So what? It's always been that way. There was just always not been internet. Okay, again, if you're fixated on this stat, you will struggle even more in dating. Okay, but if you look at this stat, oh yeah, of course it is what it is. You know, women don't always express that they like a person. You're the one that will pursue in a typical society and most societies. Okay, another one, the top 10% of men clean up, monopolizing the attention of most women. This one right here, you hear it everywhere, right? While the bottom 50% of men are fighting for the attention of less than 5% of women, at least on the Hinge app. Well, that's an app, right? And the Pookie and the Ray Rays are the one impregnating all of them. And why are you worried about that? If you're worried about that, you attract that reality into your life. Okay, now you feel like you're struggling because you're fixated on a crazy ass stat. Nonetheless, still real, right? And then you go, yeah, but I'm looking at my probabilities versus possibilities. Dude, humans don't look at probabilities unless they're in a lab. You're not in a lab. We're talking about romance. Of course, you're looking at possibilities. When you went after your career, were you looking at probabilities? Did you say, hey, only a certain percentage graduate high school, so I'm not going to go to high school? No, you said, no, I know only a certain percentage end up PhD, but I want to be one of those. That's what you did, right? It's the same thing you have to do here, as opposed to complaining and bitching about it. Sorry. In one study, when an attractive woman swiped right on all men, she got 600 matches in 4 hours. It's crazy. I mean, to think about it, it's really, really crazy, right? Because again, a lot of young honey boys who struggled already with their social skills are the one who end up on the app a lot of times. Okay, so they're swiping right, they're just looking to get laid. Then they're not. But woman is trying to protect herself, so she's a little bit more picky, right? So this shows how competitive these apps are for men. No, it doesn't show anything really. It doesn't. It tells me what the apps are able to capture, and the apps are limited on what they can capture about humans, because we're humans. We're not just some animals. Okay, we're not things. So they're part of our emotions that the apps are not able to capture. A lot of it is captured. It is what it is. Now you know, okay, that you have to step up your game as a man. It's not gonna be as simple as, yeah, the stat says it's wrong, so we need to hold the women accountable. No, bro, it's gonna get worse for you. Okay, this makes sense because Tinder is 78% men and other dating apps are similarly male dominated. There you go. Okay, so I hate to tell you this way. This is why men are struggling with dating. That number one right there, fixated on stats, fixated on I'm just a logical being. When you're fixated on craziness like that, you're gonna struggle more. It's gonna get worse for you. But if you relax, and understand the female gender as what it is, right? The feminine energy, understand what makes it work, right? We all have feminine and masculine in us. It just tends to be dominating the female gender in humans. If you understand how that works, you can use that in your favor. If you kick against it and you start to demonize how things are, it will work against you effectively.